All right. So well, this thing's recording properly. You know, sometimes supplements and game material for a particular game comes from something that's not game beta canon or accepted canon. It's something that we've gotten from outside. And this is one of those things I picked up not too long ago that I thought when I saw it would be a very nice addition to my Star Trek role-playing game and just my knowledge of the Star Trek universe in general. This is Hidden Universe Travel Guides, the Klingon Empire. And it's kind of an updated historical travel guide as if you were a Federation tourist heading for the Klingons' homeworlds, and there's lots of information on it about the Klingons in general, their civilization in the current timeline, post DS9, I guess. Central Plains, the city itself, the planet, getting around on the planet, various provinces, some additional cities and other locations in the Empire. Introductions, how to comport yourself, what to, tips for a fun trip, for example, getting here, what to wear, what to expect for lodging, Klingon etiquette. Did you know? Saying hello and goodbye on Kronos. Expect all kinds of hijinks and other things because you're definitely in a culture that is not human, yet they share a lot of similarities whether they want to acknowledge it or not. But it itself as a source book is pretty interesting, and from these things we can gain material like, here's an excellent map, oversized map of the Klingon capital, and background information, how to get around the city, various inputs and impressions from various people who visited their sites and activities, what you can do, some things you probably shouldn't do. Did you know the Great Tribble Hunt? Right. Klingon history is replete with engrossing tales of glorious combat, including acts of courage and daring by noble warriors that fought and died in the service of the Empire, from the ancient wars that formed the bedrock of Klingon society in more recent conflicts, the Romulans, the Cardassian Union, the Dominion. Many a great battle is passionately celebrated in story and song, except one. The Klingons don't deny such a campaign was ever waged, but they also don't go out of their way to acknowledge the bizarre crusade undertaken against the species called Polygemronus grex, the small, seemingly harmless life forms known throughout the quadrant by their common name tribbles. Genetically primed for reproduction, these little furry organisms seem to exist for one purpose: to multiply. The consumption of any food source accelerates a tribble's pregnancy. While other humans and other life forms tend to fawn over the creatures, Klingons came to view the tribbles as nothing more than direct threat to the security of the Empire by the mid-23rd century. So obviously they had to launch a war against them. Alright, so the Federation Embassy, information on the whole border, various locations. And then, did you know? Dining and nightlife in the great city, lodging. Here's the Central Plains, maps surrounding the capital city and the areas that a couple other cities and so on and so forth. Places to explore on Kronos. Like I said, there's a lot of interesting things. Shopping, entertainment. Then we got the Kethek province, which is another location on, I think, a different world, but it could be the same Klingon world. Here we go, some different Klingon worlds, more information. This is the sort of thing that would be very useful for any kind of campaign that has to do with the Klingons, or exploring in the Klingons, or a civilian version of Star Trek as opposed to the never-ending adventures dealing with just the Starfleet, right? I'm just saying. So, if you got a chance and you see a book like this, I highly recommend adding it to your collection. And I don't know, I think this is implied that this is the first in the series, so there may be more coming for different races and different locations, which would be interesting. I think I would add these if they added more, Cardassians and Romulans and so on and so forth. Just extra material.